Hey, what's up, everyone? This is page 304. We are talking about the corresponding angles theorem. And so I encourage you to have a note card made where on the back of that note card we're going to add some definitions, a page number. For example, this is page 304 when we talk about it. Have a highlighter, have a tracing paper, have colored pencil, and most importantly, make sure you did page 303 first. And so if you haven't done page 303 yet, see it's right there. It's got some stuff on it. Go back and watch that video. Question 1, it says use your work. Well, this is question 2, I guess. Use your work in question 1 and properties of translations to write a paragraph proof to demonstrate that the two parallel lines intersected by a transversal create corresponding angles that are congruent. That's right. Your vocabulary word for this video is brought to you by the word, zooming in, transversal. It means to cross, right? To cross parallel lines. To find a line and find lines are parallel. Transversal means to cross other lines. Get it? Get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That is our vocabulary word. So anytime we see it, there it is. We'll put it up on the word wall behind us. Transversal word of the day. Here we go. First of all, angle A prime, B prime, C prime. When we created that angle, we created it as a translation. Is a translation of angle ABC along B prime. So we did all of that in order to create one angle in a different location, but the rays that made up angle ABC happen to actually be going in the same direction and creating parallel lines. That means that line AB is parallel to line A prime, B prime. Because the way that they were created, those translations preserved the direction. Because translations preserve direction. And direction is what makes things parallel. If things are going in the same direction, then they are parallel because they'll never, ever actually meet. They'd be going in different directions in that moment. Here's another thing. Angle ABD. Just for reminder, angle ABD is this angle right here. Angle ABD and angle A prime, B prime, and then D prime is up there somewhere. Those are also corresponding angles. I didn't use D prime, but I used B and B prime. A, B prime, and B are corresponding angles. And they're also congruent because of the translation. So the translation took the angles that were going in the same direction. It moved them one on top of the other through a translation process. And when that happened, it preserved their direction and their angle measure. So translations take angles to angles of the same measure. Translations take angles to equal angles. Or congruent angles. Let's see if I can make all of that visible on the video. Perfect. Okay, this is time for a highlighter. Because you proved that the relationship is true, we now get to claim that corresponding angles are congruent. We get to claim that that is a theorem because it has logic and argument behind it. Highlight. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then corresponding angles are congruent. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then corresponding angles are congruent. Heyo, let's draw that on the back of our note card. Parallel lines, transversal, that's the transversal, and it creates congruent corresponding angles. Recall that the converse of a theorem is created by, that's not a vocab word up behind me apparently. Recall that the converse of a theorem is created by interchanging the hypothesis and conclusion of the original theorem. So in the original theorem, if is the hypothesis, and then is the conclusion. And all we have to do for a converse is switch them. Converse takes HC and makes it go the other way around. CH. Hypothesis conclusion becomes the reverse. In other words, if two parallel lines intersected by a transversal form congruent corresponding angles. So this right here was the conclusion, but now it's the hypothesis. Then the lines are parallel. That part that follows is now the conclusion. It was the hypothesis before, but in converse, we switch them. Show how you can use translations to demonstrate that the converse conjecture is true. Okay, so we have congruent corresponding angles, right? So then if we have congruent corresponding angles, you know, like in the diagram, we have this angle and this angle, they are congruent. That means then that we can say that the lines that they are created with, other than the transversal, the lines that they are created with are congruent, or are parallel. Sorry, lines are parallel. So I can demonstrate that the corresponding angles converse corresponding, oh my gosh, angles, writing on the fly. Sorry about that mess. Angles theorem, by showing the translation, E-O-R-E-M, by showing the translation of the angles creates parallel lines. And go, center the camera where it needs to go, camera, camera, camera. Good. If two lines intersected by a transversal form congruent corresponding angles, then the lines are parallel. That is it for page 304. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for the notes that you have. Once again, a strong reminder, today's word of the day is transversal, because we use it so many times, so it's going to go up on the wall. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.